It's true that there is a continuing terrorist threat in Northern Ireland, but it's on a far smaller scale, thankfully, than it was in the difficult years of the Troubles. I mean, my feeling about the public order issues yesterday, it looked very kind of pre-planned. It was all about optics. It was all about trying to grab attention. Thankfully, the vast majority of people in Northern Ireland are strongly committed to an exclusively peaceful and democratic future.
Of course, yesterday celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement. Do you think the framework still stands? And do you feel that peace is fragile at this moment? Well, the 1998 agreement transformed Northern Ireland for the better. I mean, it was a huge achievement, but it is, of course, a matter of concern that the institutions it created are not currently sitting because of concerns about the Northern Ireland Protocol. But, you know, the Northern Ireland's political leaders have surmounted many challenges, and I feel that they will be able to get that government up and running again, but it probably will require more changes to that protocol from the EU. Well, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is calling on the leaders to get back to the power-sharing government. What will it take, do you feel? And of course, the impact of Brexit has been a negative effect so far for them.
I think what is needed is the fact that this Windsor framework, whilst it's positive in many ways, particularly on movement of food and medicines between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, it really removes a lot of the frictions. But it doesn't deal with all the problems with the Northern Ireland Protocol. So I'm afraid it's unfinished business, and continuing negotiations with the EU to resolve those issues are the best way to bring the Unionists back into government and get those Good Friday Agreement institutions up and running again.
From your experience, Theresa, as former Secretary of State for Northern Ireland from 2012 to 2016, I mean, you were telling me that you had to, when you arrived, they gave you books to read about the history going back to the 11th century. What do you feel is needed now?
I think certainly it will need determination on the part of Northern Ireland's leaders, but as I say, the key blockage is that the Northern Ireland Protocol at the moment means that Northern Ireland is subject to thousands of laws over which it has no control. The so-called Stormont break in the Windsor framework will help that, but I think we need to go further to ensure that we restore that democratic control over laws in Northern Ireland, and that will be the trigger to bring the institutions up and running again.
Are you a supporter of the Windsor framework?
I have mixed feelings about it because it's certainly an improvement on the status quo and it delivers important practical benefits, but I think there are issues still with the protocol which it leaves unresolved.
Of course, US President Joe Biden will set foot on the tarmac later on this evening. He'll be greeted by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. How crucial is the US's ongoing involvement within Northern Ireland?
Well, it's really positive that the most powerful leader in the world is travelling to Northern Ireland, takes a close interest in it. You know, I really welcome that, and of course Bill Clinton was, I think, a really sort of positive influence on the peace process that led to the Good Friday Agreement. But ultimately, you know, President Biden's presence won't alter those fundamentals that we've been talking about. Those blockages on the devolved institutions relate more to Brussels than they do to Washington, I'm afraid.
Just finally, Theresa, Rishi Sunak has announced an investment conference in Belfast in September. How helpful will that be?
Well, I think that's great. And one of the advantages of President Biden's visit is to highlight what a fantastic place Northern Ireland is, not just to live, but to run a business and to invest in. And that's been a tremendous success story with many big US companies with large operations in Northern Ireland. I hope that's going to go from strength to strength in the future.
Theresa Villiers, former Secretary of State for Northern Ireland and MP for Chipping Barnet, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.